Hello YouTube, I'm Z-Town Train, and this is just a basic dude vlog. I'm pretty excited today. I'm having a good day. My wife is off work tomorrow, and I am off work tomorrow. This is a rare occurrence where we are both off on the same day. Maybe not as rare lately, but rare in the grand scheme of things. And when she came home today, she said, "Hey, have you got your fishing stuff together?" I said, "To be totally honest, lately it's just kind of spread out everywhere and I made a mess of it." And she said, "We ought to get it together because we ought to go fishing tonight." And I said, "I think that is a fine plan. I like that idea." So I started working on getting everything together for a little fishing trip. It's going to be a brackish water fishing trip where there are both ocean and a little bit of freshwater kind of fish. And we're going to go out tonight and go fishing. And I've been trying to get her to go with me night fishing for a while. Mainly, it's going to take some of the mystery out of it. Such as, what does my husband do at a bridge for 4 hours between midnight and 4 a.m.? But the other thing is that I just think it would be cool to take her out there with me. And I'm pretty excited about the whole thing because she's gonna come and go fishing. I thought that we could do a little bit of videos on things that I take when I go doing this stuff. And so the first two of this series are going to be called the bucket and the cooler. Now, these two items are important, but you can't get the two items mixed up. So today's video, we're going to do the bucket. This is what I carry in this little black bucket when I go fishing in the ocean. Let's use that word wide open because it's more like the opening of a river delta into the ocean, into a harbor even. We'll get into that later. So the bucket. Now, I do not carry bait per se in this bucket. This bucket is what takes the place when I go fishing in the ocean of a tackle box. When I do freshwater fishing, I generally take a tackle box, like my grandpa's old Fenwick, or I take a tackle box like this old Flambeau right here, or this one, this Eagle, which is the exact same pattern as that brown Fenwick, but I bought that one brand new when I was 16 years old and have had it ever since. No, when I go in the ocean, I take a bucket. And in the bucket is where I would put all the stuff that you would need for your fishing trip, except for like food, drink, or bait, or other things that go in the cooler. You can mix and match the two and just take the cooler. But if you catch a fish, that puts you in a really hard spot. So let's take a look at what I have in this bucket. In no real order of importance. So, first, a good first aid kit. This one I've added extra band-aids and Bass trays into because I find that I beat up my hands pretty good when I'm fishing. So, a first aid kit, this will take care of. It's got a little bit bigger gauze and stuff like that in it in case you get a real cut. And some tape and band-aids and some antiseptic, all kinds of things. And it saved me pretty good when that catfish went through my glove and stuck my finger. The lucky thing is I was wearing that glove because that glove kept all that nasty bacteria and stuff on the outside of the glove when it stuck me, is what I'm thinking happened. Although that little bump right there is not going away. It's been there since I got stuck by the catfish a couple weeks ago, and it's just not going away. Next, so we have our first aid kit. Next, bug spray. You cannot fish in Florida, especially at night, without bug spray. These are two I carry with me in the bucket. It's just some off Deep Woods, works great. This is the wet version, this is the dry powder version. They both work fine. I carry a little bit heavier DEET in the truck that's in a littler bottle. And that stuff will make you feel like, if your bug spray don't make you feel a little bit woozy for about 15 minutes after you put it on, then you don't got enough DEET in your bug spray. Your bug spray needs you when you put that on. You should probably feel just a little sick for a little bit, just a little bit sick for like 10 minutes, and then it'll go away. And that bug spray is the bug spray that works. If you put bug spray on and some kind of all natural bug spray, if you don't feel kind of sick for about 10 minutes, maybe 15 after you put it on, then your bug spray is not going to take out these mosquitoes. They're going to carry you off and eat you in the swamp. Next, some guys don't use these. I learned this from my father-in-law, and he uses a fish gripper, just right in its jaw, right in its jaw. And this one, I need to put the rubbers back on there. I think the rubber things were supposed to be on there, so I'll have to look for those later. But you grab that fish right by the jaw with these, and I've seen him do it a bunch of times and saved his hands from getting crazy. So a good pair of fish grippers. This isn't a great pair, but it's an okay pair. Forceps. These go right along with needle nose pliers. Forceps that lock have got me out of a lot of jams with fish where that hook is in deep, but with these forceps being so thin and this pair being a good strong pair, I can get down there and get that hook out without doing a whole ton of damage to a fish, which is what we're against, right? If we're not going to keep it and eat it, then we don't want to rip him to pieces or anything or hurt him. There ain't no point in killing something if you ain't going to eat it. That's my philosophy on hunting. That's my philosophy on fishing. That's my philosophy on a lot of things. If you're not going to eat it, there's no reason to kill it. So this pair of forceps, you get down in there good into its mouth and get that hook out if it's gutted it without, or back by its gills, without tearing that fish up. So that pair of forceps has helped me out immensely, lots of different times. This is a combination flashlight lantern. He is super bright. It's just a very bright little lantern. The reason I really like this one is because it's got a magnet on the bottom, or it's got hangers. So you can take him and hang him on something by these. But what I like to do a lot of the time is I stick this to the dock or the bridge or whatever, usually down low right above my bucket, so I can use this as a work light with the lantern part. And in a pinch, it does have the flashlight in the top that you can switch to, but I don't usually use this one as a flashlight. Usually I just use my flashlight. This is the one that I've been taking fishing a lot lately. This is that newer version of the Ozark Trail, because my old reliable version of the Ozark Trail is in my survival kit bag, the bag of tricks. So we got this to do flashlight work with, and we got this to do lantern work with, and those both go in the bucket. Now, right now I'm carrying these number 3.0s with nylon wire leader and swivels already attached. So you're putting your tackle's in your bucket. Tackle's not in the cooler. Tackle's in the bucket. Box of sinkers, different sizes a little bit, but generally big heavy ones, because you don't want it to roll around out there in the ocean too much. There's a lot of rocks and oyster bars. You want that thing to kind of settle down and not roll around so you don't cut your line or get hooked in the rocks. You kind of have a crazy in between whether or not that's going to happen. Now this actually came in the kit that was in this bucket, and this thing is great. This is what I use for my needle nose pliers, and it's got the end of it. See how that tip is hooked right there, so that when you grip something, it doesn't slide out the end for your hook. These are getting a little bit rusty. I'm gonna have to clean them up a little bit because I've been fishing a lot with this one this year. And this pair, this is a really heavy multi-tool, but it has come in handy. I carry a regular pocket knife on me pretty much all the time, but one thing about this is it's got a file on it, it's got scaler on it, it's got a pretty decent knife blade on it, and then it's got little tools just in case. You got your flathead and your Phillips head. There's a little saw. I don't know, man. That's more of a just cut a fish in half kind of serrated blade. I don't use the blades on it a ton. They do lock right here with this little lever lock. Let's see if I can get that actually to close now. That's hilarious. I haven't pulled one out of this in so long. There it goes. So there is this little lock right here on them, and you have to pull that back and fold the tool down. Those go in the bucket. So, kind of to recap, we have a nice set of needle nose pliers. This one is a multi-tool made for fishing, and so I carry it fishing. Really heavy, not the kind of thing you want to carry in your pocket. Hooks and tackle. So these are my 3/0s on leaders and a box of sinkers. Light, 2 different kinds. We have the lantern that we use as a work light. We have the flashlight that we use for more focused flashlight things. First aid kit, super important. If you cut your hands, you can clean it up, not get a bacterial infection, not get hurt, right? Well, you're already hurt, I suppose. Fish gripper, makes everything a little bit easier and safer. Oh man, did I take that out? I did. I'm so glad I did this video. Glove. A lot of guys go, you're a sissy if you use the glove. Man, that glove saved me from having that catfish would have went right through my finger. It was huge. The spine on that catfish fin was like that, right? And when he hit me hard, and I just got a little complacent, and he nailed me. But instead of absolutely going straight, it would have went right through. I mean, he hit me hard. That glove saved me from probably 85% of the hit, and also kept most of the goo and there's a venom to a catfish spine out from that hole. So it did hurt, but I didn't wind up getting some gross bacterial infection because I immediately stopped, took off the glove, cleaned everything, and got bandaged up with some antiseptic ointment. Now you can also, bug juice to keep them bugs off you, because down here you have to. You might get malaria, you don't want that. The forceps. Now you can add, mix and match and add. You can add, I think I left it at the bottom. You can mix and match and add things as you go. You can throw some snacks in there for you. Into the bottom of the bucket, I keep a can of snacks. You can add different kinds of artificial bait. So gulps, these are the gulp white shads. These are the gulp shrimp. Some fish bites. You can throw in some artificial shrimp and artificial bait. But generally, those first items are what I keep in the bucket when I use the bucket. In our next video in the series, we're going to do the cooler. So we'll talk about the cooler then. But until then, I am Z-Town Train, and this right here, this is just a Base to Do vlog. And I hope that you have a great day, and I've enjoyed making this video for you. I like when people see what we're doing, what we got going on. Someday I hope my kids watch these videos and enjoy them. And I hope that you all have a great day. That means you have a great day. You have a great day. Bye-bye.